Yeah, I just come out my YP, yeah, and I decided to try and be a bit straight. Don't do anything wrong. My mum's going a bit mad, my dad's going a bit mad, so I'm living with my mum and dad's house, so I thought, fuck it, I'll have to get a job, yeah. So one of my mates, Johnny Wells, and a few other people, Derek Pierce and people who worked on the fruit market, yeah, I went down to Chiswick swimming pool, and I'm down there, and I'm meeting a lot of people, and I meet my old mate Johnny Wells, and he said to me, come down the market, come down there, why don't you come down there and see if you can get a job? I said, listen, I ain't gonna give me a job, what? He said, come down and have a go. So I was come down there, I'm starting helping him out on the stand, filling the lister up, driving around with him, loading up lorries and all that, this, that and the other. And there's got to be 2,000 people in the market running around, greengrocers, porters, everything, yeah, it's packed. So he's taken me to all these different vans, loading up, and he's nicking this and nicking that off and filling this the boxes up with bits of fruit and vegetables, putting them on the lister, driving off, and that's his cotchal, like, to take home. He said, do you want some fruit and veg for your mum? I went, yeah, mate, yeah. So he loaded me up, like, and I went home to my mum and I gave my mum all the fruit and veg, and she was like, over the moon, you know what I mean? Because, mum and dad didn't have much money, but the fruit and veg is nice, yeah? And I thought to myself, I've got to get a job down there. I must get a job. So I kept going down with John and working with him, and I see a guy called Elstead, yeah? Elstead used to be one of the union reps. And Jack said, this old boy Jack said, he wasn't nice, he didn't want to give me a job. He was another union rep, yeah? For some reason he didn't like me, yeah? But anyway, so the old one gave me a job, said to me, look, come down early in the morning. He said, go over to the north sides. He said, and you're a night porter, I was like, young. I said, all right, yeah, went over there early in the morning, early in about what? It was morningish, 12, half 12. I got there's all stuff outside the stand, packed with stuff, yeah. So I got the key, I've already been there and seen the guys, got the key to open the locks. And this geezer jumps out the motor and went mad. What are you doing, mate? Well, you starting to nick some stuff. I said, no, mate, I'm the new stand boy, the night porter. He went, okay. He said, what's your name? I said, Ray. He went, okay, yeah, I was told he was coming. He said, listen, all this stuff here has got to go in. And then you put a little show outside, not too big a show, because too big a show, then we've got to put it back in. And we have enough work all day long, yeah? Oh, okay. So anyway, he said he's trying to catch someone that keeps coming and nicking stuff, yeah? He said, listen, he said, in the market, he said there's about, well, I don't know, maybe 500 stalls, yeah, stands in there, and every one of them get delivered by lorries, yeah? And a lot of them ain't got porters, night porters, and a lot of them just leave it outside the stand, yeah? But you've got security, you've got no cameras there, you've got security walking about checking. He said, look, anything you nick, he said, I'll give you a key to a warehouse. He said, anything you nick, put in the warehouse. He said, I mean, you'll come to some sort of arrangement. I went, okay, I'll have some of that. So I met Johnny Wells. Johnny Wells wasn't a night porter, he was a day porter, but he sometimes used to work nights. So I'm talking to John. I said, John, what's all this about? He went, I'll show you what we've got to do, yeah? So he goes to the front gate, and the front gate is where all the security are there. And there was a Scotch security guard. He was one of them people that had to be nosy, walk about this, that and the other, and hide round by the stands and try and catch you out, yeah? So John said, listen, we'll go round there. He said, have a look where he is. And he ain't around there. So that means if he ain't around, he's hiding somewhere. So we'll walk around the market and you can't see him. You can't find him nowhere. So we come back to the front, and he's back in there making a cup of tea with the other guy. He said, now's the time to get in the stands. So he jumped over one stand, started chucking me big boxes of gear over, and I'm in about high stands, yeah. Chuck me the gear over, crash, put it on the barrow, but not a lister, because the lister makes so much noise, got to put it on the barrow, yeah. Put it on the barrow, go back on the barrow, and put it into the lockup. Colin Crappen was giving me, put it into the lockup, and I was doing the regular, and I was getting, Colin was giving me like £150 a week. It's a lot of money then as a kid, you know what I mean? As a young boy. This is in the 60s, and end of the 60s. So Colin Colin starts saying to me, listen, you know, you're really doing good, and this, that, and the other. And Colin was a fighter. And some of the guys, I mean, there was a guy in there called Bobby Collins, yeah? And Bobby Collins, he was a porter in there. He was a day porter. And Bobby Collins is one of the best guys that I've seen work in the market as far as stacking stuff up, yeah? He was like fantastic, mate. He was like, he could unload lorries in no time at all. And listen, when you say about unloading lorries, I mean lorries full of potatoes, lorries full of onions, everything, apples, bananas, oranges, everything, yeah? And I'm telling you, you got to be fit. Because when I started in the market, these orange boxes were 3 tiers, and they weighed about 112 pounds. So you should put them in a nut them, walk up the ladder, put them and stack them about four high on top. That's about like 20 foot high, yeah. And this Bobby Collins was the best. He was. I see him do some taters one day. These big, what is it called? Egyptian taters. They come in big sacks, massive big taters, yeah. They come in big Hessian sacks, and they're really hard to handle, yeah. Really, because they're massive, aren't they? They're really hard to handle. And Bobby's put them on his head, and you got to be thinking, because your eyes, the sand gets in your eyes, and it's Moroccan sand or whatever it is, and it can be really do your eyes in. So Bobby Collins, like, he's put a scarf around there with a bit of slit, and he's up and down the thing, and he stacks them unbelievably high, yeah. And Bobby Collins is a diamond. I work with Bobby Collins. He comes from Devonshire Road in Chiswick, yeah. And there was the Devonshire Road boys, yeah. These little mob. There was a gang of them, Devonshire Road boys, and they could have a fight, mate. All this Devonshire Road lot, yeah. There was Wacker, there was Bobby, there was Philip, there was David Collins. I think his name's Collins. I'm not quite sure. He was mad, mate. He was as mad as they come. He was one dangerous guy. And we used to meet up, all that lot, and go down the boathouse in Kew Bridge, and we used to go there with the old scarves on and the old hats, you know what I mean? And fights. We had so many fights. All the food porters in the market was fighting crazy. It's all about fighting in the market. I don't know what it is. It's just what it is, yeah? And some of the people in the market, you got, I mean, I've said it before, but this is part of me coming out of prisons and YPs. You had the Collinses, you had the Welleses, and you had the Willses, and you had Derek Pierce. Yeah, I mean the Welleses. I think the Welleses was the biggest family in there. That's Georgie Wells, Tommy Wells, Alfie Wells, Billy Wells, George. It was about 6 brothers that worked in the market, and it was all 6'3", 6'4". I think Arthur was the shortest one. He was very stocky, dangerous Arthur. Elfie was the worst. Elfie Wells was nasty, mate. Really, really nasty. I think Billy Wells and George Wells, good fighters, good boxers. Billy Wells, I don't know if you've ever been towards Kew Bridge, going towards Brentford. On the right hand side, they do all the army stuff. That belonged to Billy Wells, yeah. Billy Wells he owned half of that part of Brentford, and all run by Kew Bridge. It was cut off at Kew Bridge. Before you go over the left-hand side, he owns all in flats there. He was absolutely Keiko minted. But in the market, I'd say this, everybody in the fruit market, barring me, they all had their own places, like houses, businesses. I mean, the market was one of the places where you got good money. Everybody was... Do you know what surprises me? That everybody's nicking, everybody's thieving, you know, and it always comes back. Like, I nick 5 boxes of stuff out of you, right, sell it somewhere. Someone else nicks 5 boxes and comes back to the geezer and this nicks 5 boxes, and he buys the 5 boxes. So it never ends. Everybody's thieving, everybody gets back something, yeah? And I started... I met a guy called Martin Worsfold. Martin Worsfold was on potatoes, yeah? He was massive, mate. He had arms, like big watermelons, massive arms, powerful, strong. And Derek Pierce, the same. All the ones that worked on potato growers and things like that, massive people, because they lifted all day, lifting big bags of potatoes. But when I went in there, it was all the big 112 sacks, the big Hessian sacks of potatoes, you know. And then it went down to the 56-pound bags, and they used to stack them up so high, mate. And they used to, most people on the potatoes, the potato growers, earn a lot of money. They get X amount per weight. It goes by the weight. And you can imagine, can't you, loading up a lister? I think you get about, 5, 10, you get about 50, 60 bags on the lister, yeah? So you're driving it and you're loading it all up, then you take it off and put it on the lorry, stack it all on the lorry. I mean, that as a job is one of the hardest jobs I've ever had. But money, you can earn so much money, yeah? And then me and Colin started to fight, started to do bare knuckle fighting, really. One bare glove, one bare knuckle, you know, vice versa on each one. One had the right hand glove, and then someone had the left hand glove. It's like every day we was fighting, yeah. And I was getting a bit smashed to pieces in a way. I was I was learning all the time. Every morning, me, Derek Pierce, this guy, Derek Pierce, mate, had a fantastic body, mate. Really good looking guy. He was a Collins. He was a Collins as well. And he used to walk up and down Chiswick High Street. Big guy. And he used to take me training every morning around Gumtree Park. We used to one man there. And after we finished late in the afternoon, he used to take me to Ham, because don't forget I'm a night porter as well, because being I was a night porter, I was to finish about 6 in the morning, 5 in the morning, 6 in the morning. But because I was a night porter, I didn't want to go home to bed. And what I would do, I'd stay up and help the other porters out and get good money, and then go home to bed and be tired the next day. But I was always, after a while, you get used to it. Your body gets used to doing it, yeah. And then Derek Pierce used to take me to Hamwell Boxing Club, and I used to do a lot of training up there, a lot of sparring up there, and I was really becoming a bit near the mark, mate. I already had lots of fights as an amateur anyway, and I was getting really, really hard because I was fighting in the market with Cracknell, and all of a sudden I started to fight greengrocers, a lot of greengrocers. I mean, I was having like 2, 3 fights a week, no problem. And when the Christmas trees come in, you got Johnny Frankham, Les Stevens. I mean, Les Stevens is dead. Rest in peace, Les Stevens. I think Johnny Frankham's still alive. The Frankham family, the Stevenses. I mean, all that lot. People talk about travellers. I should imagine the Stevenses and the Frankhams, all that lot from where they come from, was the hardest travellers, mate. You got the Joyces now, that lot. They ain't nothing compared with this mob, Frankhams, yeah, and the Stevenses. They was the governors, mate. Without a shadow of doubt, they were the governors. And they used to come in the market with Christmas trees. I think there's about, 10 lorries full of trees. And I used to be on the barrow then. I used to be one of the barrows. Barrow, shout out, barrow, anybody, barrow? And we just keep walking around. The guy say, barrow, mate, can you take us over 100 trees over there? And then you put the barrow, lift the wood up in the barrow so it's at an angle, and stack all the trees in there, yeah? But do it proper, so you might get 100 trees on the barrow, yeah? Honestly, it don't sound possible, but you can do it if you stack it properly, yeah? And of course, it weighs a ton, and then there you are, it's a balance. You balance it, and sometimes you're going to have a bump. Whoa, and it picks right, you've got to get down again, you know. Deliver it to the van, or mostly to the lorries, and stack it on the lorries for them. Cut yourself to pieces with the prickles of the trees, yeah. And I love that job. I loved meeting Johnny Frankham. I loved meeting Les Stevens, and they was you could see them proper hard travelling men, and all the family there, the dads, the uncles, even the women worked there, yeah. And you could see it was a really, really hard family, yeah. And everybody in the market give them a lot of respect, you know. Give them a lot. There was some fighters in it. I should imagine I've said it before and I'll say it again, that everybody that I know in that market, where everybody in that market, it seems that can have a fight. I mean, people that are watching my podcast now, my video now, there's so many fighters come out of the markets, like Billingsgate, Covent Garden, Spitalfield. There's so many come out of markets, fruit markets, fish markets, meat markets, loads and loads of fighters. It seems to be a thing that fighters come out of the market, and good fighters. I mean, you told me, I mean, there's so many fighters that come out of the market, mate. You think about it. Just think about it and tell me. Billy Walker, Georgie Walker, Emmy Cooper, Jackie Cooper, all them. Come on, there's loads. Just have a think, yeah? And let me and tell me who you think. Jackie, is it Jackie Cooper? I'm not quite sure. Anyway, there was loads and loads. And in the fruit market where I worked, Brantford Market, packed with fighters. There was fights every day in that fruit market. Greengrocers, porters, always fighting. And lots of money. Everybody in there was fit as anything. Fit. There was me, Bobby Collins. I used to knock about with a guy called Martin Worsfold and Derek Pierce, yeah? And because the young uns, at my age, used to play games. Used to like playing games with greengrocers, driving them mad. Like picking the back of their motors up. Honestly, I'm not joking, the vans up, picking them up and putting them on boxes. Put the back of the motor on boxes, so when they get in, they're revving up and nothing's happening. The wheels going, they're going mad. They notice us, you know what I mean? They notice us, look. And we used to go into Elsted's. Elsted's was inside, I think it was called Elsted's. Inside in Brentford Market, there was a coffee shop. I think it was called Elsted, I'm sure it was. And they used to make the best cup of tea, have the best tea and best sausage, bacon and egg rolls. You can get breakfast in there, but the egg rolls, sausage rolls, bacon rolls are the best, mate. Oh, and they used to have big mugs of tea, big mugs. So me, Johnny Wells, I've said it before, we had a laugh, man. Me, Johnny Wells and Bobby Collins got a lot of peppers, a lot of chilies and peppers, and then things called Scotch bonnet, yeah. These Scotch bonnets, mate, it's like a fire, you know what I mean? It's like a fire in your mouth. And we're putting it around the teacups, but why they sort of making the rolls and giving us we're getting it, putting around the cups, yeah? And then sitting down, having your cup of tea and a bacon roll and an egg roll, whatever you're eating, and watching some greengrocers, I mean big. Some of the greengrocers are massive guys, yeah? I've got a thing on my phone about Brentford Market. It is a video, yeah. But what I'm going to try and do, I'm going to try, maybe not today, maybe I'm going to try and get someone to take it out so I can put it. I don't know how you do it. I don't know how you put it on the phone, yeah. So I'm going to get someone to do, so it's a video as I'm talking about it. Anyway, I don't really know what I'm talking about, but anyway. And you see all the greengrocers and the porters. This is in 1959, 1960. It's around about not far off the times I was in there. I'm not that old really, but anyway. And you used to see the greengrocers, mate, when they're drinking their tea, they go, oh, fuck that. You see them go, oh, fuck that. They're going mad, you know, and taking their cup up and picking another cup, oh, fuck that, you know. And it was funny, mate. But the guys in the Elsteds, these Italian fellas, knew us. The geezers were working behind the counter. So any time we got in there, we was going in there. Trays and trays of cups, yeah, full of milk and all that, you know. Trays and trays, because it'd be packed in there. There's always, I'd submit they do 1,000 cups of tea a day, rolls, sandwiches, and all that. And every time we went in there, they just give us a couple of cups. That's your cups. Don't start mucking about. You know, and go mad. You know what I mean? And all the greengrocers knew it was us. They used to go potty, the greengrocers. They want to kill us, you know, honestly. But there's a lot of kids in it, you kids. And when the market was closing, I mean, all the stuff what was around the market, there's all cobbles. It was all cobblestones, yeah? And you had all these ornate banister rails and landings. It was absolutely stunning, yeah? And it guts me that they pulled this down to put offices there and swimming pool, yeah? And other buildings that you know, unbelievable. They're always to let. But I can't never make out why they never left it as it was and made it all bars and restaurants. Mate, they'd have earned a fortune out of gaff, you know what I mean? They'd have earned a small fortune, mate, like Covent Garden. This is even better. It's all ornate. I mean, everything, all the ornate banisters, all the landings. Oh, it's beautiful, mate. And then they smashed it down and put all that up. Anyway, so because of all the cobblestones, there's absolutely millions of cobblestones. There's all cobblestones. The whole market was cobblestones, yeah? And at a certain time, 1 o'clock, the market will be finished. But there's still a few stands open, little bits of stands, yeah? Doing their stock checks and things like that, yeah? And there'd be apples, bananas, so much stuff on these cobbles that come out of the boxes, fell on the floor. And used to get these Indians, the Chinese, yeah, come round and fill their bags up with all that stuff and take it back to their restaurants, I suppose, and serve it out. You'd be going there for a nice steak and chips and all that, going tomatoes and mushrooms, and it'd be stuff they got off the floor. Seriously, on my life. And we used to muck about, you know, we used to fuck about all the time. We used to do like, mad things, you know what I mean? We used to piss all over the stuff, throw it out and all that. They'd be picking it up and smelling it, tasting it, making sure it's okay, and they'd be pissing all over it, you know what I mean? Some of them, I mean, I worked for a big company in there. Not a company, it was a big apple firm, yeah? Hobbs is called, I think, know it. And one of the Collinses used to work, I think it was about, must have been 50 Collinses in that market, worked in that market, big family. And one of them worked in this apple place, Hobbs, I think it was called Hobbs. And he asked me, what are you doing? He said, do you want a little job after night time? I said, yeah. I said, come over and give me out to unload the lorries and all that. Mate, strong. This guy, if you look at him, mate, you think, there's no way he could do what he did. He used to pick up 3 boxes of be stacked up on the lorry, on his shoulder, and he'd pick it up and throw it in, yeah, and stack it. Unbelievable strong, mate. Really, really powerful. I mean, I could do 2 boxes, yeah. I suppose he's learnt it over the years, yeah. But he'd stack it high, you know, push, really powerful, mate. Every one of them market porters I was in there with, strong. All powerful men. Please check it out, how many fighters you know works in the fruit markets, the meat markets or the fish markets. Loads of fighters, mate. And when I worked in Brentford Market, there was fighters in there. I mean, Colin Crattle was always fighting. I mean, he's a name that I always mention, always talk about Colin, yeah? He was a fighter. But there was a load more in there that never ever, you couldn't believe what they was like. Quiet, but tremendous, mate. Could really fight. I've seen them have fights, you know what I mean? And you don't upset this kid, Ginger Carlisle. Ginger Carlisle, mate, you could march on. Wow, this geezer could fight. Derek Pearce, he's another Collins. He could march on, mate. He was strong. He could really march on and fight, mate. Like it's all. He had brilliant, pure white teeth. You know, like always eating apples. Could really march on. My mate Martin Worsfold, the potato guy, strong, powerful, could really march on, mate. There was 2 guys in there that could really, really have it. And they used to work on a place called Vitapac or Vitacrest, yeah? And they were both teachers in Aikido. And they was, mate, they were just unbelievable fighters. Powerful men. You know, Kenny Barber and Kenny Griffiths. They had clubs where they taught people to do Aikido. And I worked in there, helping it. I worked in a lot of companies in there, loads of firms and everything, because to get money, yeah. And to learn, I loved it because I loved it, the way we used to walk about, you know what I mean, in the stay-pressed jeans, or trousers, and nice jeans, Levi jeans, and all this, that, and the other, little t-shirts, little vest, and you got your bib and the flat cap. Chap, aren't you? You're a boy, you're a chap. Big arms, powerful. And it's Kenny Barber and Kenny Griffiths, I think it's Vitacrest, yeah, and a big company, mate. They used to do, poor Les Wibley, the guy, I'll never forget Les Wibley, used to be one of the salesmen in there. They used to earn fortunes, mate. They must have been on £1,000 a week, the salesmen in there, fiddle and everything, you know what I mean? They used to sell so much stuff, tomatoes, blues, pink and white, red and white, blue and white, grey and white, all different sorts of tomatoes, yeah. Anyway, I worked in there, and my mate, Mickey Null, his son, Stevie Null, Stevie Null, works in the food market as well, good looking guy. Mickey Null worked with Colin Cracknell on all sides with me. But Stevie was learning Aikido from these two, Kenny Barber and Kenny Griffiths. Kenny Barber and Kenny Griffiths, these guys were just normal people, mate. Normal people, didn't wear all the jeans and the hats and all that game, normal guys. But they were all, I think, the top down you can ever get. They were it. 10 down, 1 down, 2 down, I don't know what it is, yeah. They were it, mate. And their knuckles were like thick skin. You know, like they'd train all the time, eating this and eating that. And one day I was talking about them, you know, I want to know their power. What sort of power they got was me as a fighter, and just to show me the power they got, because I was always showing, you know, eating the bags and the boxes and all that, you know. And I said, look, show me what sort of power you got, you know what I mean, because of what you're doing. He's kicking, he showed me the kicks, yeah. Mate, I hold this big box of new potatoes, like coming in big boxes, yeah? Not the sacks, but the big boxes. I hold it up against my chest. It weighed about, I don't know, 28 pounds. I had it against my chest and he kicked it, mate. Well, fuck me. He knocked me back, he knocked me back about 20 foot, mate, I swear. I couldn't believe it, the power that it come out of his legs. Kenny Barber, Kenny Griffiths, mate. And I was there one day and I said, well, hold the thing, hold the bag, and I went, crack, hit the bag as hard as I could, knocked him back. He went, mate, the punch is too long. He done it to do it in the knuckles. Quick. And the way he done it, he pushed me back about 10 foot, yeah? And I thought, these guys, it goes right through you, mate. It goes right through you. When they hit you on the chest, it smash all your organs up in the body. These people shouldn't be allowed to walk about the streets or walk about. They're too powerful, mate. They'd kill you stone dead. They were, without a shadow of doubt, the governors of the market, these two, Kenny Barber, Kenny Griffiths. Never said nothing, mate. Quiet as anything. On the listers, delivering, very quiet. But I'm telling you something, right? If you knit anything off a motor, right, that from their company, Vitacrest, and they captured you, you was in lots of trouble. Believe me. Everybody was weary, you know what I mean? Everybody was weary. I mean, people now watching my podcast will know Kenny Barber and Kenny Griffiths. Them two was murder, mate. There was potato growers in there, right? Potato growers and potato porters that was absolutely massive. Massive, I mean, people talk about bodybuilders with their delts, big deltoids on their shoulders, big triceps and all that and the other. But these people all day are lifting up big bags of spuds, big bags of this, big bags of that, onions, tomatoes, and everything, big sacks and big trays of tomatoes, and it's all day. And as I say, when I got a job there, and I was working on all sides as a night porter, and the first night, all that stuff outside I'd get in, I swear to God, I was tight knackered, mate. A young boy, but I was so tired. You don't realise how fit these guys are, yeah? They're fit as anything. There was this guy called John that worked on market sales, yeah? This guy, 6'4", 6'5", dark complexion, really good looking guy. Wiry, mate, strong. He was exceptionally strong. And it was no problem for him. He had long arms, really muscular. He would throw things up, mate, up on a stack. Like it's so easy for him, you know what I mean? And you learn every day you're learning something from that market, and learning every day you're learning to fight. And me and Colin, when we done the fighting, so one bag, one and all that, and I used to get smashed to pieces. Colin used to really bash me up, yeah. Fucking eyes smashed, nose smashed, lips and all that. We had no gum shields. And so I said to Colin, look, I've got to get a gum shield, Colin, because I said my teeth are whacking me in the mouth, but my mouth bleeding. And at that age, his teeth are very solid, yeah. So we got gum shields. We was fighting, I reckon, 4 times a week, me and him, bare fists, and it made me hard, man. Made me hard. I mean, to get it around the ribs all the time, the ribs, all round the ribs, all round the jaws. But you're learning it all the time. And Colin, I mean, after about I'd say 3 months, 4 months, I started to really give it him as well. Yeah, as he'd give me, I would give it him. And I become a fighter, mate. I become a good fighter in that market. I learned. Colin Cracknell and all the boys in there learnt me a lot, you know. And I was just strut around, you know what I mean? Strut. I had the bib on, the cap, the Levi's, the Staples trousers, the Dr. Martens. Yeah, mate. And I was the business. I just strut about, you know what I mean? Walking down the road, going down to the cafe, you know. And then I strut, just being a chap. I'm only young, I'm with Colin. I'll tell you, listen, there's a guy in there called Terry Woods there, blonde fella, Terry Woods. He used to work for a firm called Dean's. This is a company gate on the left-hand side. I worked for them Dean's. And then they had 2 listers, load the listers up, deliver the bits and pieces. I remember the first time. I got my ticket to deliver this to Greengrocer. I think it was Strawberry Road Block 6 or something like that, right out of the way, right? And it's all, the market is all cobbles, and there's all dips and where you've got to learn how to do the lister, and you go certain ways and go up this way and that way so I can get up them, yeah? So I don't know all this. I know, but I don't know how to really move the lister around and go down this way, up that way, and crash. So I've got all potatoes on there at the front, and at the back I've got tomatoes and all that sort of thing. I've got them all stacked up. Yeah, they come in 3 boxes, tiers. Yeah, 4 boxes, tiers, all wired up together. Yeah, wired up. And there's me on the lister, right, going there. Now I've got to get to Strawberry Road Block 6, I think it was, on the dirt track. I'm not quite sure where it was. It was a dirt track or Block 1 or Block 6 or whatever, right? Strawberry Road Block 6. And I didn't do the routes. They all take this route. I took the fast route, but didn't realise the dip like that. Fucking hell. I hit this dip, and all the tomatoes, right, at the back come off. And you can imagine, they're wired up, all strapped up, yeah? But when you come over that speed, right, and hitting the dips, all the boxes, the wire breaks. About 8, 9 stacks of them, yeah, on the lister, they all come off. There's tomatoes everywhere, yeah? And you got pinks and blues, and you got all different tomatoes that are worth a lot of money, yeah? That everybody wants to nick off the back of a lorry. You know what I mean? And there's me, just hit this bump and they've all come off. Mate, I had to pick it all up and put it back in the boxes, yeah? You can imagine the state of the tomatoes, yeah? I put it in the things, put them on the lorry, right, and drove back. Told my mate, Johnny Wells, I said, do me a favour, John. I just put all these pinks and blues and whatever on the back of this lorry. They're on the back, yeah, and I've gone and they're all loose, yeah. Do me a favour, nick off the lorry, yeah. Do me a white favour. He went, I won't be able to do it. I said, please, try. So him and his brother nicked all these tomatoes off the back of the lorry. Saved my bacon, mate. Otherwise I'd have got the sack. I'd have got the sack, mate, I swear. But, I mean, I've seen spiders in there as big as my hands on the bananas, yeah. When you get a job on a banana grower, yeah, and you got to take these big canary stalks, yeah, they're about 6 foot high, just about get your arms around them, and you got to put them in the wiping rooms, yeah. Put the string 2 down, string it up, pick it up, put it on the wiping rooms, yeah. I seen spiders in there, mate. They fight the life out of me. I got bit by a spider. I was in hospital for a couple of days, had me on this drip thing, yeah. But I've seen monkeys, little monkeys, jump out of bananas where they hide in their hands. What they do, when they go on the boat, they go on the conveyor belt, yeah? The conveyor belt goes through disinfectant and comes out the other side, and they wrap them up in this like cotton wool stuff, yeah? And this brown stuff over the back of it. But the monkeys and snakes and spiders hide in the hands, and the hands are like tight, you know? And the monkeys that get in, the little monkeys, these monkeys are ripped into pieces. When I got bit there, but when you look for the spy hole, they're like prison cells, these doors, a bit massive, yeah? They've got spy holes in them. When you look for the spy holes and turn the light on, you know, you don't really see anything, yeah? But when you open that door and turn the light on, then you see, fucking hell, mate. I used to go, so the old boy Len, the old boy who used to work in there, yeah? I used to say to him, Len, come in with me, you know what I mean? And this old boy, he used to have his old overcoat on, tied up, ovals at the bottom, tied up his hands and everything, yeah? Around his neck and everything. He's old campaigner. He knows these things bite, yeah? And he knows the snakes, some poison snakes in there. And one day we went in this fucking great big, he knew, great big one with all bananas. There must be about 100 banana stalks in there, yeah? And he opened it up and said, look, we got to go and get the zoo. RSPCA people would come down there and take us out, yeah? As you open the door, there's about 50 monkeys in there. These little monkeys, all diving around the room, yeah? Eating the bananas, everything. You had to get, it's one and get hold of you, mate. They rip it to pieces. You've got the teeth bigger than the monkeys, massive. Shut the door, and I thought, God, blimey. And I lasted about a week there, yeah? Just got bit and all that. I didn't fancy the job there. Good job, though. Good money, but it ain't for me, mate. It ain't for me. Snakes. I mean, when they come off the conveyor belt, and you're taking the stuff off, yeah, you push it aside and you put your string down, 2 hands down, and you lift it up. You've got nothing on your arms. But not like then, I couldn't wear anything. It was uncomfortable, yeah? And it's so hot there as well. So I used to just wear a t-shirt and bare arms. And that's the worst thing to do, mate, because once them spiders come out and get hold of you, bite you, mate, you're in trouble, you know what I mean? Massive, mate. Even the little ones are dodgy, yeah? Anyway, I left the banana thing and went for a go. Peter Lewis and Joe Strong. Joe Strong. And, Peter Baker. And I worked in this coal place doing coal. They didn't give me the money they're supposed to give me. You're supposed to get good money, porter's money for the bags of coal and delivering coal. But when you say delivering coal, I used to also go out on the lorry taking coal to greengrocer shops, you know what I mean? Big bags of coal and delivering them. Mate, that was a hard job, I'm telling you. There was like thousands of bags of coal in these lorries, yeah? And you got to go and deliver them all these shops. Hard job, mate. The market, the fruit market, was the fittest I've ever been, the strongest I've ever been, you know. And it's a shame that Brentford Market went all the way to, I think it was Eston, that way. And it's a shame. It's all full of Indians now. Indians run the whole place. In my days, in my times at Brentford Market, there wasn't one Indian there, mate. Well, there was, but, you know, I'm racist, but there wasn't allowed in there really as such, yeah. It was a closed market. The market was fantastic. Everybody knew everybody. All the old faces, the Puddleses, and all that, all the Puddles, Cousinses. There was people in there, mate. That was fantastic people, fantastic fighters. It was just a life. I was just a fool that I wasn't getting the money that I wanted. I was one of these people that wanted so much out of my life, yeah, more than lots of people. I just wanted a quick earner. So instead of getting £500 a week as a young kid working as a porter, which is, mate, it's fortunes like set £5 a day, well not £5, say a couple of grand a day, yeah. But you're working hard, yeah. You're getting up in the morning, you're getting up, get to work by 4 o'clock, finishing at 1 o'clock. It sounds a bit crazy, but it's not easy. You think that's easy, but it's hard. It's hard. And I didn't want that. So what I started doing, me and my mate Martin Worsfold started to go out looking for work. I remember once in Queensway, I worked in this big bank. Yeah, we used to go down there, not me, Martin Worsfold, used to go down there once a month and clean out the vaults, all the bags and sacks and stuff that was down there, and clean it all out. And he said to me one day, want to come down Queensway? I was working with him on the lorry, delivering potatoes, all stuff to greengrocer shops and all that. And he was starting his other job, cleaning up companies and all that. There's good money for him, yeah. He said, you want to come to clean the Queensway and clean the bank out? I said, clean the bank out? Are you mad? He went, no, sweet. When there's this bank, never asked any people, they must have known it because he'd been here before. Walked in his bank, walked downstairs to this bank in the vault, where the vault room is. There was a cage going round the safe, a big cage, yeah. Suppose what, 2 meters out. As I walked around and looked in, there was all bags of money. Fucking hell. They must have had Security Express or one of them big companies come and just deliver the money, walk in with the money and put them on the skips there, yeah. Mate, you would not believe it, bags of money there, you know what I mean? And you're about, what, a yard from it? You know what I mean? Looking at it and you're thinking, you know, a cage, just a cage. It could be what, anything there, you know what I mean? Big bags, the big Hessian sack bags, yeah, full of money, mate. Just waiting to go into the safe. But we're cleaning out all the stuff outside, all the paperwork and stuff from the bank, and we're taking it out in sacks and waiting, taking it in the lorry. And I couldn't believe it, you know. I couldn't believe it. I thought, Jesus Christ, mate, how easy is that to take? And when you think of it, that Wembley lot, George Wilkinson and Bertie Smalls and all that little firm that used to Brian Turners and all them people, that's what they used to do. They used to jump over the top, mate, jump over the glass counter, go straight downstairs and nick all the gear, all the money. Like, you know, they had some money, mate, that little firm. They had 200 or 300 grand they used to take every time. Didn't muck about. Proper company, mate. They've only got plenty of bird for it. But, you know, in my days, you go to prison, mate, everybody in prison was an armed robber. Do you know, everybody, you know what I mean? You might get your silly burglars here and there, you know, but everybody was an armed robbery. Anyway, this is just a quick podcast about me coming out of my YP and my Borstal and my mum telling me I've got to get a job and I'm working in the fruit market. There's a lot more to this fruit market, so I'll do part 2 later on, yeah. All right, take care, have a nice day, yeah, bye-bye.